Hey everyone, welcome back to Fusioneers. My name is Joseph, and today we're going to be making a tapered cup using the Revolve method. If you haven't watched the first video in the tapered cup series, then go ahead and watch that now. It gives you a little background on what we're actually trying to do here, but this is a little bit better method in my opinion. You'll see why in just a second. Alright, so this is our first cup we made. If you haven't watched the video again, go check it out, and we're going to basically recreate this using a little bit better method. If you want the files to this Fusion project, as well as these files that have the PDFs and the dimensions of everything, then go over to our Skool community at skool.com/Fusioneers. That's Skool with a K, and the link is down in the description as well. So check that out. As I mentioned, it is a free community. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to make a new design. Click Command S to save it, and we're going to say cup with taper revolve. All right. And if you've watched our other videos, you might have an idea of how we're going to do the Revolve. It's going to be a little bit similar to what we did in the Revolve with just the regular cup that wasn't tapered. So if you recall that, you might be able to do this without my assistance. So let's go ahead and click Create Sketch, and we're going to start on this front plane. And if you want to reference the drawing, the bottom of the cup is 60 millimeters. And the top is 80 millimeters, and then our height is 100 millimeters, and we have a 3 millimeter thick wall. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to create the bottom first. So I'm going to click R for rectangle, and then we're going to just create a little rectangle from the origin. And you can use lines to do this, but I personally just like using this rectangle here. And then I'll kind of expand upon that in a second. So let's go ahead and dimension this out. So we're going to revolve this in a circle. So we're basically just need to make half of the cup. So we're going to click D for dimension. The bottom is 60 millimeters wide, the total width. So we need to make this 30 millimeters. So let's go ahead and say 60 divided by 2, which is obviously 30. You can also just go ahead and type in 30 if you prefer to do that. Okay. All right, so now we need to draw our taper to our cup. And the way we're going to do that is with a line. So click Create, Line, or the L keyboard shortcut. And then we want to start it here on this corner of the bottom of the cup. Now we're just going to draw it up and then over. And then this is where, this is kind of however you want to make it. If you do it based on the drawing, you would go straight across. But sometimes people might want to make this perpendicular, and you can kind of see that perpendicular sign coming in. But I'm going to go straight across horizontally because that's how the cup was drawn in the drawing. And then I'm just going to make it just an arbitrary length. I'm going to come back and fix this later. So just draw it out however you want to. And then you might be tempted to connect it here. But you'll see how the width of the cup, if I was to connect it here, is not 3 millimeters, or it doesn't look right. So you're actually just going to connect it just wherever you want to within this top line of the rectangle. And now we're going to fix all this up a little bit. Okay, so now we have this enclosed shape, and the first thing I want to do is make these two lines parallel, because our wall is going to be parallel with each other. So click Parallel, and then we're going to click that and that. So now it's already looking a lot better. You can see kind of where this could be a cup, and then you can see now though that we have this is able to move back and forth, which is not exactly what we want. So the next thing I'm going to do, since we're already here, is just dimension the height. So I'm going to click D, and then click here, and then down to the bottom. And if you'll look at the sheet, it's supposed to be 100 millimeters tall. Okay, and then our wall thickness, if you'll check that out, it's supposed to be 3 millimeters. So let's click D again, and then let's measure this out to 3 millimeters thick. Okay, and it looks like I forgot to dimension this as well, so let's go ahead and make this 3 millimeters since we're here. Select 3. Okay, and so now you can see that really the only thing left now is to tell this exactly how wide it needs to be. So you should see here, now we can kind of tell it the outer diameter that we need it to be. And this is where using this method is a little bit better than the taper method, because we can actually say we want this to be exactly 80 millimeter diameter, whereas before we kind of had to guess with the taper angle. You could put the taper angle in here, but I'll just show you what I think is the best way to do this. So we know the top of the cup needs to be 80 millimeters. So since we're doing half, we need to do the radius of the cup, which is 40 millimeters at the top. So we're going to click D again for dimension, and we're going to select this outside point, and then we're going to come down to the origin, and then now we're going to dimension that from the origin. And you can say 80 divided by 2 or just 40, since we know that that's what the outer radius is. And now you'll see that everything is fully constrained. We have our cup profile here with our wall. It's 3 millimeters thick. If we zoom in, you'll see that this is properly constrained, where we have this being parallel. This is 3 millimeters. This is 3 millimeters. You can actually go in and trim this. I don't really do this very much, but you can actually just delete these parts if you want to. And now we have an open profile. A lot of times I honestly just leave them there, so I'm just going to undo that. But that is something you can do if you don't want to have to select both profiles when we revolve. Okay, so now I'm going to click Finish Sketch. And now we're just going to select the Revolve command. Select this profile, and then we're going to select the axis, which is the center axis, and now we have what looks like a cup. Click OK, and now we're going to add our chamfers like we always do on the top, and then on this edge as well. Hold Command if you need to. It's 0.4 millimeter chamfer. Alright, and there we have it. So before we add the chamfer though, let's go back in time. And let's measure this outside diameter. It's exactly 80 millimeters. And that's just to show you that we didn't even have to use that angle. We just said, okay, we know the top needs to be 80, the bottom needs to be 40. Let's just connect those two, using this sketch. So we made a 40 outside, a 30 inside, and then connected them. So we don't actually know exactly what this angle is. And if we wanted to measure it, we could measure from the inside here, but it doesn't really matter because we already have it fully constrained based on these dimensions. So that's why I wanted to show you that you don't actually have to know that angle if you make it using the right technique. So this is how you make the cup using the Revolve command, and hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.